what we can start with is to actually start with the webinar. And I'm very pleased here today to introduce two esteemed guests from Japan, Masaki Machimaru and Yoshika Yagi, both from Japan. I'll introduce them both to you. Masaki is a fellow and director of the Human Augmentation Research Center at the National Institute of Advanced Industrial Science and Technology. He studied mechanical engineering and ergonomics at Keio University in Japan, where he received both his master's and PhD. After that, he joined the National Institute of Advanced Industrial Science and Technology as a research scientist, and he moved up the ranks in the AIST. And currently, at the moment, he's held various different roles there. And more recently, he was assigned as a fellow of the AIST and is heading up the Human Augmentation Research Center. His research interests are related to measurement and modeling of human functions and their applications. And his research interests have more recently expanded to service engineering and servitization. He's also appointed as the chair of the ISO Technical Committee 324 in 2019, and also appointed as chair of ISO PC 329. I'm also really happy to introduce you to Yoshika Yagi. Yoshika is the executive officer and general manager of the Solution Development Department Group, looking at smart office product and service development division at the Itoki Corporation. She graduated from Osaka City University with a master's degree in life science, and then went on to join the Itoki Corporation, where she's been working since 1998. She's been working in various different R&D roles there. And in 2023, she was appointed to this current position, which she's in at the moment. She's done work for government work, and in particular published a health promotion office reports that model and summarized the various different relationships between human beings at work, their health status, and their employees. She's a member of the Japanese Ergonomics and Human Factors Society, and a member of their Public Relations Committee. And is also a member of the Corporate Activities Promotion Committee of the Japanese Ergonomics and Human Factors Society. And she also is head of the Board of Certification of Professional Ergonomists. So that's really super. So without further ado, let's get on to our content, and I'll invite Machimaru to start off. Sorry, Masaki to start off. Sorry, I'm getting the names mixed up. Masaki, over to you.
Okay, can you see my slide?
I can, yes, that's super.
All right.
I'm going to switch my camera.
Thank you very much. I'd like to make a presentation related to the human factors and the elements for interval subs. What is interval season, including my presentation. So, my position as a director of the Human Augmentation Research Center. What is a human augmentation? So we try to develop a system close to human to enable human to live more actively. So human-only cases and augmented human with an information technology or robotic technology. It was an with indicates an as a partner or as on something like a wearable system. So human function is augmented by these systems approach, and not only temporarily. We try to develop the system. Human biological function is strengthened through continuous use of human augmentation system. That is our scope. So human function can distinguish into physical function in motion, sensation, cognition, and communication. So fundamental part is measurement technology of human functions. And for example, the physical empowerment is wearable robotics, and the brain-machine interfaces and using something like brain communication. And remote manipulation, we did and some collaboration research with a construction company in the remote manipulation. And one another is an telecommunication. It's a strongly related to the next speaker. It's an enhancement of the office work in the cyberspace and real space. So anyway, our research center has an 40 research scientists in various fields, sensing devices, VR, robot, biomechanics, and psychology, computer science, and service engineering and design field. So those are different expertise and different scientific knowledge integration for human augmentation. Application is, and one is a care service for elder person, another is health service and how to say, to keep the healthy condition at the case and to enhance physical activities or to improve motivation for daily activities. The third one is work rate to gain work skills and to improve on employee engagement. Those are our application fields. So I like to introduce one example is an care services in remote rehabilitation. So physical therapist is with white clothes. They work in hospital, but usually patient is also in hospital. But in this case, patient is house or home, and physical therapist touch to the robot, not the actual person, actual patient. So users or patient wears an orange special wear. They collect the wear collects the motion data and it's sent to the robot. And they wear a goggle, VR goggle. So physical therapist understood the robot overlapped the actual individual or users, so they can understand, oh, it is a realistic user. And they push their body through the robot. And in home, so no robot here, but some feedback from the tactile or intervention or temperature intervention, and with visual images in the BL system, a patient recognize and actually physical therapist is standing here. And this is something similar like in hospital or rehabilitation. So we developed a special wear, MR Cube wear, multimodal mixed reality for remote rehabilitation, 3M and 3R. So we place a special sensor at the knee and at the shoulder, at the elbow. It is a special strain gauges based on a printing technology developed by our laboratory. And we measure not just only deformation of this port, but motion and deformation pattern was analyzed by AI. So this wear can sense the person's motion, and it was sent to the mannequins and a robot in the hospital. It is, as I told you, and it is a technology. Now we are trying to apply this technology to really in remote rehabilitation. Another application, work rate. We work with Komatsu is the name of the company and construction machine company in Japan. They are well servitized. They place lots of sensor into the construction machine. They correct machine state in real time in worldwide. But this project is not to collect the machine situation, but to collect the human situation. So we place an additional sensors and workers and fatigue or skill level or engagement can be estimated, those are the sensors. And those are data utilized to how to enhance the engagement, how to enhance the skill level. And those kind of packages, packages means construction machines and additional services and provided to their client. And their client is now have a big issue that's the short of the workers. So their business is a service for well-being management. Workers' well-being is management through the construction machines and as additional services. So we also try to use not only physical machines but also remote machine control with a VR system. So using the VR system, and we can interact with humans and a lot of information. So this is one recent result. What kind of visual intervention, visual feedback is effective for enhancing the work skills? And we found the result and we get a patent on that. Anyway, so these research fields are strongly related to the human factors and ergonomics. So we have 100 years history in human factors and ergonomics, but artifact is a start from the work environment. And humans and mainly employees, and we did an efficiency or occupational safety in the workplace. But then next stage, artworks and focusing on the goods and product, and the human and change to the customers. As a case, and human-centered design and focusing on the usability and performance and product safety. Now we are focusing on the service with IoT, AI, VR, AR, and including our human augmentation technologies. As a case, and of course, employees, customers, and any other persons involved in the service system and in the society, we should concern accessibility and well-being of the humans. So that is a transition of the target of human factors and ergonomics. In this context, I have to say, what is service? So I am a service engineering researcher, and in service research field, service dominant logic is a very fundamental theory. So in this logic, we distinguish the words of singular service and plural services. So service is indicates a total solution. So in Komatsu case, a final solution to the client, that's in a service. And construction machine, that's goods. And additional several services and sensing fatigue and some kind of intervention to VR, that is services. So service is something like an integration process of resources for value co-creation according to the context of use. So what is the resources? Resources include goods as in construction machines, services with an VR intervention, and human resources and provider, organization, employees of organization, and customers. So we co-create values. Fundamental value is how to say a contract with customers, and emotional value is trust. Knowledge value is data. Those are co-creation value. How to co-create these values? That is a service. So as a case on how to design a service. So we think service system is important. So usually we are focusing on interactive system, users and interactive system as an how do you say relationship with an dyadic, but a service system is an we should separate a stakeholder is humans, operators is stakeholder, customer is a stakeholder, and organization employee is a stakeholder. And blue area is an interactive system core. Those networks can co-create a value. So this is a service system. How to design a service system is the new issue of the HFE. Of course, service system has some layers, and we are focusing on the green area. It's a micro level is service system, but it's an over layer is market, and a much more meta layer is on a macro level international trade. So anyway, so we should consider meso level, macro level, but the framework is focusing on the micro level. Oh, that is our idea. So I am working with an ISO. ISO Technical Committee 159 is related to human factors and ergonomics, and one working group, accessibility, and four subcommittees on ergonomic principle, anthropometry and biomechanics, human system interaction, and physical environment words have been established. Now, we try to establish a new working group related to service ergonomics. And subcommittee one, ergonomics principle, and we already developed not only product, but also services. We cover both products and services. One is a human-centered organization, how to manage the organization in human-centeredness. So ISO 27500 and 27501 both established. And now under development is a new standard, human-centered design of products and services. We should both principles and activities. So next phase that I like to introduce an interverse. What is interverse? So I guess you may know the metaverse. So metaverse is an universe and metaverse and a cyberspace and created in the personal computer or networks and so on. So interverse is to connect between a universe and a metaverse. So idea is not digitalization, not virtualization. So digitalization and virtualization is universe to metaverse. And mostly value is created in metaverse. But an interverse idea is to interact and universe and metaverse and to create and to enhance the total value of the services. So we estimate virtual economy. The virtual economy is a new market, including the metaverse. So in our research, in 2013, market size can be nearly $1 trillion US. It's a very, very big market. 30% is related to the virtual currency. Another 30% is SNS and online games. And remaining 40% is interverse, strongly connected with our physical space. That is our focus. So Japan started a new project, national project, SIP. It's in a 5 years project. And in this project, we have 14 programs. One of the programs is focusing on the metaverse, development of a foundational technology and rules for expansion of virtual economy. I myself is a program director, head of this SIP program. So in our SIP program, we're focusing on application field, a very small scale and a very large scale, and manufacturing and office service or sightseeing, health and sports and health and education. And another side is in a town level, a regional case and a social capital and smart city. And the second layer is on the technology. And third layer is something like rules and governance and legislation and standards. And next level is the social acceptability, how to get the acceptability of the new market. Now, final market, human resource development. If we, how to say, increase the new economy, we require the new human resources, how to develop those kind of human resources. Those are total images and the structure of our project. So in a project, some of the topic is strongly related to HFE. So one is development of foundational technology. We also need interfaces. And not only via scope, but also the tactile sensation, pre-perception, or any other sense or cross-modal technologies. It is strongly related to the HFE field. And the legal development and standardization. And we have to reduce or mitigate the risks, addiction or real sickness, and make a standardization quality control of the service market. It's also an HFE field. Another is business development and social acceptance. We should consider LC and human resource development and human-centered design, user experience design, and management partner who promote servitization. Those parties also related to human factors and ergonomics. So our project framework is like this: universe, metaverse, interverse. We try to develop a technology and we apply this technology and concrete applications. That's the upper layer. And lower layer is fundamental area. We get data and we get general technologies. And management of the technology is platforms and data exchange and software development kit, application program interfaces. And the subprogram D is human resource development and standardization. I'd like to introduce some programs. I'm sorry, very busy slides. I'm sorry. One is focusing on proprioception. So try to sensing the proprioception and try to present an proprioceptive sensing to remote another person. So this H2L is a startup company name. They already have the technology of the to sense and or to present an proprioception, and they try to develop an additional technology. They apply this technology to the sightseeing and training and so on. Next one is our institute. They are interested in office space that are similar to the next speaker, Yagi-san. And in our cases, we are combined with a real office and a virtual office and a newly developed the interverse office and how to increase productivity in office. That is the goal of this project. This is a very interesting technology. Try to use a 3D food printer. Sushi can be printed, same taste, same smell, and same colors, but a different softness, hardness, very easily. So using these technologies, so they try to develop on a, how do you say, food for a care service. The same taste, but easy to eat. And this is a town-based. Takenaka Corporation is a general constructor. They are interested in the digital twin of the town with a digital twin of the humans. They try to measure experimental value in this virtual space and both inside real space, and try to change human behavior in the virtual space and to apply to the real space. So that is their project image. And we are also interested in to develop the platforms and APIs and the software development kit for all projects. It was led by NTT Docomo, is a cell phone company. And finally, we are focusing on human resource or development standardization. In standardization, as I told you, we are focusing on LC and safety. That was established in TC 159 related to ergonomics. So, anyway, human factors and ergonomics for interverse service. As I told you, service system includes stakeholders, humans. So the service system requires an active participation of stakeholders to co-create values. It should be designed with considering human activities. And newly developed interverse services bridges real space and virtual space to enhance total value of services. And it requires a novel human interface technology that is strong related to human factors and ergonomics. And it also requires the evaluation method of safety, addiction, real sickness. It's also in HFE. And requires HFE standardization related to safety and accessibility. Finally, it requires human resource development on the human-centered design and user experience design. Oh, that's my presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Masaki, thank you very much. That was I've got pages of notes over here. I'd like to we'll ask questions at the end, or if you have questions now, okay. Masaki can also answer them if you post them in the Q&A section at the bottom. But I'd like to invite Yoshiko to bring up her presentation. I'm really looking forward to this, Yoshiko. Thank you.
So.
Yep, we can start to see them now. Yep, perfect.
Okay. And can you hear me?
Can hear you perfectly. Thank you.
Yes. So thank you for today's chance. And I'd like to focus on real office as I'm working for a furniture manufacturer. And today I'd like to show you an example of initiative by a Japanese furniture manufacturer. And nice to meet you again. And this is my company's information. It's a furniture manufacturer. It's a very old company established in 1890. And originally, it was a trading company, but we began to develop original furniture and equipment. And then currently, the largest sales are office furniture. We manufacture desks, chairs, and booths, the partitions, etc. In addition, there are 160 architects and interior designers who also do space design. So in order to design a space, it is necessary to decide how to work. So we also offer worksite consulting service. And our mission statement is we design tomorrow, we design work style, meaning that we want to propose a better future way of working. And now we are currently transforming to the next stage of supporting a better way of working by leveraging the latest technology and data. So, to increase productivity. Okay. So next, let's talk about the challenges facing workers and managers in Japan. Originally, Japan was a country with low employment mobility based on the premise of lifetime employment. However, employment mobility has increased, especially in the large companies, and it has become easier to change jobs for workers. In addition, telework and hybrid work have become popular in the wake of COVID-19, and discretion in work style has increased. Increased freedom means that workers themselves, workers themselves increase their market value and productivity. And the challenging facing business owners in Japan, in addition to rising employment mobility, the proportion of elderly people is increasing and the working age population is decreasing. And many companies trying to make up for the shortage of labor with women's, foreigners, and extending the retirement age, but it is becoming more and more difficult to secure human resources every year. Another problem is low labor productivity. And improving productivity has become an urgent issue for many managers. And in response to this situation, there are two management approaches that has been rapidly gaining momentum in Japan in recent years. There are health and productivity, health and productivity management and human capital management. Both are management strategies to secure human resource and grow a company by actively investing human resource. The interests of workers and management are aligned in this term of improving both health and performance. According to a survey by the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, companies that engaged in health management improved their business score. And balancing well-being and performance is the very foundation of the ergonomic concept. And this kind of thinking is needed now strongly. And we believe that office is an effective measure for both. In fact, what managers want for the office have changed significantly. In the past, there was a need for something to be manageable or efficiency, like on the left. However, with the advancement of efficiency of IT and AI, the office is changing as shown on the right. Office should support diverse work style and attract many workers, increase the engagement or well-being of workers, or foster creativity. We feel that this is exactly what the office should be that many companies in Japan are looking for right now. Next, let's take a look at how to improve well-being and productivity with office. The basic idea of this report, the basic idea is from this report published by the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry of Japan in 2015. This was compiled by Itoki as a project commissioned by the government. I've posted a link here. Could you see? And you can download the original file. And unfortunately, there is only a Japanese version, but I think you can translate it. The most important part of this report is this effect model. The office environment improves good activities or work style to promote health condition, and it reduces presenteeism or absenteeism. And you can also use this model how to improve specific health condition. And this line means the relationship each activities and each health condition. So if you want to improve, like psychosomatic disorders, you must improve feel comfortable in office and communication and take a rest while you are working. And 2 years ago, based on this model, we launched a new service system to identify health issues for companies and individuals and activities that to be improved. Based on the previous model, we added social condition for health status, for indicator of health status. In addition, lifestyle and work environment added to the questions to find to be improved. This result, with the result of this survey, the result of this survey will show you which health conditions are relatively problematic and where they can be improved compared to the national average or the average of the same attributes. Such a comprehensive approach is very important for finding effective measures. This is our actual screen, and you can see the performance score, the opposite side of present piece, the ability of demonstrated. And you can see your company's average, the changes from the last time, and distribution of scores across your company or organization. And you can also see how your health score compares to the national average and changes from the last time. And this is the most important part. And in order to consider countermeasures, we look what is good and what is bad among the factors that affect health and performance. It is important to check the state of work and which part is problematic and take measures from those. Which factor have a lot of room for improvement and can be improved. This way, you can choose the most effective measures and increase your chances of improving your health and performance. I think it is a holistic approach. It is important in ergonomics. It's like this. And each factor consists of question that asks how far you are getting the specific actions in your daily life, so you can see the specific behavior that needs to be improved. So let's take a look at some real example of how we use this survey to improve our condition or our office. This is our example, our office relocation project to develop with our department. And this is before office, and this is our issue. During the relocation, we needed to solve some problems while improving health and performances. And that's why we use this survey to decipher your current health and behaviors that need to be improved and use them as indicators to consider in your new office. And this, they are our issue, very many issues. And normally, if my issue is workload, very high workload, when such an issue arises, we first consider to improve our workload is talent allocation, but we can use office environment to improve workload with have a concentration space or refresh space. So this is again our issue, and here is the problematic health condition and behaviors relationship need to be improved. And for this project, we decided to adapt those measures that can be done in office environment. And space where you can easily take a break, or environment that promotes physical activity, or noise and other workers' eyes consideration. And we take several measures like this, with layered plan, areas where noise comes out, and concentration space and rest space are apart, and there are space which you can easily take a break. And for consideration noise, we can use booths and furniture with directional speakers for web meeting. And to promote physical activity, we can use a standing desk and signage to promote stretch. And to avoid other person's eye, we use indoor plants. Indoor plants have several good effects, so we use many indoor plants. And this is our new office. And the post-occupancy survey, the factors that we are taking improved and the health status improved. Okay, about this overview of the relocation, about this is the overview of this relocation project. Okay. And now we are just recently we launched a new service to help you operate your office once it's complete. Its service name is Data Tracking. It's a consulting service with using data like layout and space usage data and the survey I mentioned before, and client's own data. We use performance scores and condition score, and also we use location of a person to see the operational status of the office. This is a system configuration. And we mash up 4 layers of data, I said before, and the analysis tool is Office Data Map. We can see with this analysis tool like this. And you can not only see which places are often used, but also by narrowing down the attributes of the people you want or the people you want to analyze, you can also find out what kind of people are where, like this. And you can also see if there is no place, if there is place or not occupied by a specific person, even though it is not designated seat. And by combining with the survey data, it is possible to check how people who are in better condition worked and what kind of places they preferred. And we can solve with this survey like this. If clients want to improve space efficiency, we can analyze the number of states and time spent each species, and it proves cost efficiency, and like this. And we can offer various approach and measures. And the service name data tracking is I'm sorry. The name of data tracking means our desire that we want to help you increase your productivity and health. And where the data comes in, it is necessary to use data to capture the work style and the working environment, constantly monitor the relationship and identify and predict mismatches at the early stage and make improvement. The office is not finished when it is built, but it is must be made into a real thing after it is built. In order to realize a creative office that generates innovation, the relationship between the way we work and the working environment. Now, the business environment and work styles are changing rapidly. If we do not optimize our offices at the same time to meet the changes and in people's activities needed, no matter how good office is, productivity will decline in the brink of an eye. I'd like to continue to develop new services with the aim of creating such new office. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Yoshiko. It's very interesting to see how you use that tool to link in with the new types of office developments. So I'd like to invite our attendees to post any questions that they might have in the question and answer section. I've got some questions of my own, so even if you don't come up with questions, I'll dominate the questions. But I would prefer it if the questions came from the audience. Here we have a question from Bernadette. Excuse me a second. I was very interested in the interverse concept, and we moved to this idea of the interverse. How should universities and colleges, as one of these services, how should they be starting to adapt and revise curricula to meet this future of the office space?
Okay, so simple answer is in our program, SIP program, we try to develop the new curriculum or the university, how do you say, for the newly developed interval services. So can I hear the slide again?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay, so I skipped an explanation of this and human resource development. So curriculum includes something like contents. So basic science and technology of interverse, it includes an HFE sensing or interaction and so on. And how to develop and how to design application of the interverse. So that's how to utilize an SDK or APIs. That's an engineering field. And finally, design methods for interverse services. So these are required contents. And in our program, we ask to university to develop one is a recurrent education, not for students, but of workers, and of course, student education. Both are how do you say performed in university, and we also asked to company to make a recurrent education. So anyway, that is a brand new curriculum. So firstly, we try to verify that how do you say this educational process in our program and during in 5 years. Next, we open to test studies. So anyway, that is our scope, and answer is yes. And I think not only development of technology, not only development of interverse service application, but also we should develop human resources through the new education process. So that's my answer.
Thank you. Yoshiko, I've got a question for you around around the issues, particularly the increasing telework. What are the types of things you're looking at if people are not coming into the office and they're working from home? How do you improve things like their health and their stress and their their cognitive health, etc., if you don't have the access to the people coming into an office?
First of all, we make office workers are willing to come, and if workers doesn't come, we use some kind of technology to connect teleworkers like metaverse. And we are trying to use metaverse with tool for improve teleworkers communications.
Okay.
And
so communication.
and
okay.
but we'd like to guess health condition of teleworkers, but it is very sensitive and very difficult to
Yeah, to access them, to get them to respond to them.
Yes,
Yeah.
personal information.
Yes, privacy
protect.
issues and related to personal information. So it is another issue to obtain those kind of physical data or psychological data during especially in the home.
I'm sorry, thank you.
Anyway, so just a similar idea and a similar issue occurred in our program. But another point of view, so now we are discussing in a virtual system. At that case, I don't hesitate to get my photograph or movies to the meeting or something.
Yeah.
So it's a new acceptability. So if we are facing into the table, every person have the camera and microphone. It's very, very strange.
Yeah.
So, but in this case, we can accept a camera and the microphone and so on. And camera is digitalized, and we can assess my faces or my facial expressions or face colors and so on. As a case, during this kind of virtual system, we can collect in a technological sense, we can collect some psychological factors or physical factors during these kind of system. And it's in the technology side. And the issue is something like privacy or those kind of data usage and so on. Another idea is, can I talk? So, technological side, we can use Proteus effect. It is a new term. Proteus effect is my voice was changed much of for example, loudly or something. At the case, my behavior is changed, and my avatar in the place is much more powerful or muscular. My behavior can be changed. That is called a Proteus effect. So we can use this kind of Proteus effect in the virtual or physical interaction. It's a technological side, but it is how do you say, permitted or not? That is an LC side. So how do you say, using those kind of new technology is one side is very effective. It is also an issue for human factors and ergonomics. The other side is we should consider risks or something an ethical point. It's also, in my sense, our research field side. That's comment.
Sorry, you were going to say. So, Yoshiko, did you want to add to that, or?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. A question from Maggie. She says the Q&A doesn't work for her, so she's. Do you have any research or any guideline documents about improving well-being from a home office? So if a person's working from home, do you have guidelines or research about how to support well-being at home?
Actually, so not only TC159, but also a lot of technical committee in ISO or IEC and ITU-LT, they are very interested in to establish a new standard related to metaverse. But those are, how do you say, mainly technology or mainly interface quality. So not so many person are discussing the, how do you say, negative side, how to mitigate risks and how to control the ethics side. So, and those are something like human factors, how do you say, aspects. So in my sense, TC159 related to ergonomics should address those kind of part of the interverse or metaverse business. So, but it's just only discuss, not study.
Okay, all right. No, fair enough. There are some guidelines around the world, but they might have to be adapted for different contexts too. So, on that line, maybe just one last question, because I noticed that we're over our time. But one last question for both of you, and maybe just to help us who are not living in Japan. What are the driving factors behind the changing of work, the way in which work is changing in Japan? What are the things that are driving this change?
Okay, so two things in my sense. One is an aging society. So actually, aged society in Japan. So we, for example, the care service, we should have a lot of the elder person. So we have to consider the productivity of the care service to realize a sustainable care service. Another point is strongly related to aged society. It's I say, short of the working person. The total population in Japan is now reducing, and remarkably, and working age is remarkably reduced. It's a case that human augmentation and human resource technology is required not only care service, but also any industrial production or services. That is the two drivers.
Okay. Yoshiko, do you agree with that? Are there other drivers that are changing how what will happen with work in the future?
Mm, mm. I'm sorry.
No problem, no. Do you have any other suggestions about what might be driving the way in which work is changing in Japan? You mentioned the aging in your talk, and about how that's changing, and you also there was a question about productivity and productivity reducing. Why do you think productivity is so low in Japan?
It's due to work time, prolonged work time in Japan.
Yeah.
So most companies are trying to reduce work time, reduce or overtime work.
Okay.
And using AI or such kind of technology, reducing very to improve work efficiency. And the next issue is maybe work engagement of Japanese. It's also very lower level relative to world average. So health and productivity management or human resource management is a key driver to improve work engagement of Japanese person.
Okay, no, that's very fascinating. Thank you, Yoshiko. I see we're over time now, so a very big thank you to our two speakers, Masaki and Yoshiko. Thank you very much for taking the time.
Welcome.
To do this. I see there's one last question, sorry, from Louise. A question for Yoshiko. It says, in your experience, do the workers trust the surveys and the answers? Do they answer truth? Do they trust the answers, and do they answer truthfully to the problems that they face?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. There's a short answer to your question.
I think they answer honestly, because only the individual answer can be seen by oneself. Their boss cannot see the boss or managers cannot see other person's score. They can only see the average or some statistical data. So I think it's a truth data, or I hope.
Oh, excellent. No, well, thank you very much. I have to also say hello to one of my friends, Takashi, who's online too. So Takashi, thank you very much. Takashi was the one who helped set up the connection with the speakers today. So thank you very much, Takashi. And thank you very much also to our attendees who attended. Just a reminder that